is kind of a cool privilege and a rare opportunity to just hang out with my sister and to maybe bring to light, maybe just shed a little light on like an inside point of view for someone who's been around the horses pretty much her entire life. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to just kind of have a conversation, and we'll kind of visit and talk about just a few things that I think are important, just for the general public to know, but not just that, but just those of you who are involved with horses and maybe moving forward through your horsemanship, and also a different point of view and perspective of horses and preparation, and maybe the successful strategies that I've used, that you've used, that have helped you to be as well awarded as you've been. So this is my sister Wenda, who honestly is somebody that I look up to on many capacities. And so let's maybe start by saying, can you just give a tiny little background of, like, you know, your history with horses and, you know, your love for horses and where that's led you to up to this point?
Absolutely. I love horses, and knew that I needed them to be a part of my everyday life. Married a rancher so that I could afford that potential of having them in my life, and I'm very, very blessed that I get that chance and opportunity. Also growing up, we grew up competing. We competed all the time.
Like, so basically gymkhanas, high school rodeos, local
College rodeos.
local jackpots, and we were pretty fortunate to have, you know, a place that we could do that, and parents that supported that and who were pushing us and preparing us for life in the arena and outside of the arena.
Absolutely. And parents were great about making competition fun and enjoyable. There was never the stress and the pressure of, you know, you have to go do this. We had a good friend of ours who was,
I just thought of that.
would get abused if she didn't go clean. You know, I mean, so I saw some of that side of things that was really sad, that some children had to go through the pressures of performing for their parents. And fortunately, we didn't have that, and I think it helped develop me into the person I am now. So I currently ride and compete on 2 different horses that are very special and talented. They're my friends' horses, and we have this very unique, unconventional team that we're having a great time with it. And so as I, you know, am in the competition world now, I've done some recent maturities and derbies and opens, and kind of enjoy getting to ride just talented, special horses. But I have this complete different approach than most barrel racers, and which is, you know, that's what makes the world go round.
Well, let me just stop you right there, and let me just kind of bring this from an outsider's point of view, being Wenda's sister and being able to watch what it's like. Anywhere this girl goes, like, she stands out. I mean, it's obvious. It's like a silent spotlight that's on her at all times. People have always watched her and always been enthralled by who she is, because she's really quiet, but she's like this mystery, and you just go, wow, how does she do what she does? And that's just a gift that has been given to her. I mean, that's a talent that most people don't have. And it's always been interesting to watch how she would make people go, what happened just then? And literally, I remember in high school rodeos, you wouldn't even see her. She'd be like out wandering in the parking lot, like letting her horse graze, and then they'd be calling her name, and she'd be like rolling up in there and be like, go in there and just kill it, like just knock it out. Well, and I think it's fair to say that she was very unconventional, and that's why I kind of wanted to have this little chat with her, so you guys could kind of see the insight to how and why she conducts herself that way. So I don't know, it's always been fun to watch her because she's so different from everybody else. She doesn't get too far in her own head, and you're not like, oh, I have to win, and if I don't, my horse is a piece of shit, and blah, blah, as we've seen with many others. So,
well, ultimately, I think I have a very unconventional approach, but I love it, and I'm really comfortable with it, and it ultimately comes to wanting to develop the horse. So instead of being out there training and like pounding on the horse and making them do something that they don't want to do, I approach it like, hey, if I can do what I enjoy, I want you to do what you enjoy. So I really work on developing the horse and helping them understand what their job is, and helping them not only understand it, but love it, and flash the the older horse I ride, Dreams for Flash, he already naturally had this very genuine, natural, competitive edge. He loved it. He would like look and see and watch the barrel, watch the other horses running. He wanted to do it. So for him, it's like, well, I've had like Cassie Mallory is a good friend of mine, and she was like, it's like a game to him. He loves it. He would look out there and be like, ooh, I'm gonna go do that. And so he already had kind of this natural love for it initially when I first got on him, and which was really cool to see because I've only seen a handful of horses actually have that. And so that was maybe part of the inspired part of why I loved wanting to develop him and help a horse find that. And so when I got back on him, I rode him initially his 5-year-old year, I got back on him his 7-year-old year, and had to help develop that and inspire that out of him again. And and it's sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Helping him find that comfort, and it's amazing and a peaceful feeling to me when it comes all together. And
Let me just stop her right here with all this like politically great stuff that she's saying. This horse is a freak of nature. He is wickedly fast. The fastest barrel racing horse I've ever seen. Number one, never seen a horse run like him. Number two, I've never seen a horse turn like him. I've watched thousands of barrel horses, pole bending horses. I've never seen a horse function and formulate the way this horse would get it. I mean, he is like boom. I mean, it's pow pow. Wow, where'd they go?
Wide open. There is his rate is amazing. It's not really a rate. He is literally wide open in, wide open out. It's
And here's what's funny. Now you're probably, most of you go, there's no way I can ride a horse like that. She's like, he ain't even going fast enough.
Yeah,
Come on, Flash, run faster.
half the time I'm like, that's all you've got, buddy. Come on, let's go, let's go. And he loves it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like giving it
You
to
don't
him.
pull on it.
I try not to pull on it. If I have to make a correction, it's very quick. I try to, if I hang on him, it does not go well on the Flash. But if I can just make a quick correction and leave him alone, then he loves it. And he loves the speed. When I tell him, let's go faster, he's like, I can feel it.
His confidence really soars. Yeah, definitely.
And so, but that's, so that's helped me with the younger horse who's now, he's 6 now, who's done quite well. I won a couple futurities on him, and I rode him late in the year. The first time I literally rode the horse was at a futurity. I literally got on him. I hadn't ridden him at the house, anything, and he had quite a gait issue. And when I'm saying a gait issue, I'm saying like 20 minutes, and they still couldn't get him in, like a very, very big hole. And so when I got on him, I could feel this. He had a big hole, and I told him, I said, okay, I can tell he needs a lot of help. And so all I did was I brought him home and let him just be a horse and feel where his feet were. I literally, no joke, took the halter off, let him follow the other horses up and down some hills and through the water, and it was like watching a little baby foal. So scared. He was scared to step down this far into water, like to cross a little creek that wasn't even deep. He would sit, he was shaking, this big 16-hand tall horse, shaking, so scared to even step. He just didn't know where his feet were. And so
that's such a cool approach too, because I find this all the time, that people don't allow horses to be horses. They want them to be machines. They want them to be winners, but they don't set them up for the success of that because they expect a certain thing. And I love that you said that. It was like, you have to go back to where is the hole and fix that first. And then the time comes later that it rises up and the success shows up. But truthfully, most of the time horses, like literally we were just having a conversation about, they go out and ride these horses out on the trail, and she's used them on the ranch. Why? Because they're still a horse. And if you put them in this category of, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't touch them, you can't handle it, you create that. And then it becomes this chaotic energy that the horse is always feeling when you show up at a competition. So push your horses and push yourself to step outside of the box and say, how can I allow this horse to be a horse? Because then they find this like current of like happiness, and they can draw from that current when we go into a setting of competition.
And that's exactly right too. Fortunately, so for the younger horse, the guy who Flash is the younger horse I'm talking about, who's 6 now. Luckily my friends bought him off the track. Like, this horse had not been taken care of. He had a big abscess under his jaw, and his feet were in poor shape. he had no connection with people. Like, he would stand in the corner. I mean, this horse was not, he didn't know what his life, his whole life, he'd been raised, so it was probably from a stall to a paddock to the racetrack.
Yeah.
This horse had never been turned out, I don't even think. I mean, just from the little experience I was around him. And so I just brought him, when I brought him home, I let him just experience life like a normal horse. And he got with the other horses and in the herd, like seeing, oh, okay, that horse is going, okay, I think I can go through this. And so he just was able to build his confidence at that point. And so then the gait issue kind of worked itself out, and I try to keep the pressure off of a horse and make it, like, let's just go have some fun. And why not have some fun and keep the pressure off of it? And so I have this, it's kind of a different approach. I'm always smiling, I got a smile on my face. I feel so blessed and fortunate that we can do what we enjoy, but give these horses the opportunity to kind of live their life. And I think that in the Mustang world, you're taking these horses and giving them some purpose.
Yeah.
And now to see, I've been now riding Mac for like a year and a half, or just over a year and a half, and now he loves it. I mean, he's looking forward to it. He wants to go in. He's drawn to go into the arena now. He's confident, and he's just becoming just this amazing, talented horse. And so between them both, so I have this different approach, but it works for me and our little team that we have. It works for us, and we're really enjoying it, and it's bringing purpose to not only each of us involved in the team, but to the horses as well, and they're enjoying it, and that's been the biggest thing for us too.
And do you have like a really good piece of advice for somebody who's like maybe stepping into the world of competition or stepping into a world of horses? I mean, coming from a champion's point of view, what do you think is the most valuable piece of advice?
Absolutely, horsemanship.
That's a great one.
Hands down, the ability to to be even balanced on a horse. So I really suggest riding English or bareback with you might need somebody to help you or stay in a controlled environment initially, but just building that strength will help you, and then learning not to just hold on the reins for balance. That is something else that's really important, because then you're using the reins to balance versus using your core to balance, and that's where horsemanship comes in. And then you can learn other little fine-tuning things from that point, but horsemanship hands down is the most helpful ever.
See, I'm telling you, nuggets of wisdom everywhere I go with her. I'm always like, we talk about a lot of the same things. Obviously, I'm in a different area than she is, but it does come down to the horsemanship side of it, and not just that, like, take care of your animals, take care of yourself, make sure that you understand where is the real problem lying, where does it start, and is it really the horse or is it you? Just own it and say, you know what, I'm going to make a change. Like, at this point, you need more education, you need more technique, you need more knowledge, and when you have that knowledge, then you'll know how to approach different situations to then progress your future with your horses. So, I mean, I think it's like essential and vital to kind of get an inside point of view, and that's why I'm really thankful to Wenda that she was willing to kind of open up a little bit, because she's a pretty private person. So I appreciate that about her, and that she's willing to do it, because there's so many people that want to know, and that's why I thought it'd be pretty cool to just to kind of pick your brain about that. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
And also, I don't know everything. I am learning every day. And there's things I could do that I could do better. And, I review my videos and watch where my body is. I even have a coach. I mean, so you have to make sure that you're progressively learning. Just like a horse is learning through that process, we are learning as well.
Yeah, we've evolved so much from when we were kids even. I mean, we've both grown in horsemanship, and it never ends. It's like a waterfall of knowledge that you have to try to gather all of that, and I love it. That's a very good point of view.
Yeah, and my approach has changed quite a bit. I look and see what that particular horse needs. And so, I've changed, we were raised not to hold the horn growing up. I can still run around a barrel and not hold the horn. But what was happening is I was getting a little too micromanaged. I would micromanage a little bit too much if I didn't go to the horn. So it helped quiet me to stay quiet, ask them what I needed, and let them do their job. And so, it's progression, and It's, you know, so sometimes those things need to come to pass just for progression, and we're always learning, and keep, learn what you can. You take the best you can from each person you come in contact with.
And you know what, here's the thing, I say this every time, it's like if you're not enjoying what you do and you're not having fun, you need to change your hobby. So this comes down to having something that brings you happiness and something that where you see that the horse is happy and you're happy. If that's not happening, you need to reevaluate what's going on here. That's my advice, because just in my experience, I've seen a lot of people trying to like attain something, and they're working so hard and they're just browbeating themselves, they're browbeating their horses, and they can't fit, they're trying to make it work and it doesn't. So just,
and that's a special gift to be able to take a step back and realize, wait a second, what I'm trying right now is not working. And to either stop what you're doing and go another avenue, or stop and take a little break and reapproach it, because there does get a point when we as humans are the same way. Sometimes we're just so overwhelmed. I can't process what you just said, or so I think reading the body language of a horse is just as important as reading the body language of a person when you're visiting with them. So that definitely tie in as well.
okay, awesome. Well, there you have it. Just hanging out, sisters in the old Pioneer Mercantile here at the Pioneer Woman in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. So we hope you've enjoyed it, and remember, you gotta have fun. If you're not doing that, you're not loving what you do, it's time to end it.